Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today, we're exploring a topic that is as old as civilization itself, yet more relevant than ever: the future of seeds. We'll be taking a journey through the pages of Hope Cummings' groundbreaking book, Uncertain Peril: Genetic Engineering and the Future of Seeds. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Picture this. It's March 1999. And the world of biotechnology is celebrating its first 25 years. The venue? The prestigious Wheeler Hall at the University of California, Berkeley. The audience is a who's who of the scientific and entrepreneurial elite, but the atmosphere is tense. The keynote speaker, the legendary James D. Watson, co-discoverer of the DNA double helix, is struggling to get his presentation started. He's having technical difficulties, making awkward jokes, and generally not living up to the hype. But then, Watson begins to speak about the early days of genetic engineering, and the room falls silent. He recalls the first recombinant DNA experiments, acknowledging the safety concerns that once loomed large. He quotes Nobel laureate Joshua Lederberg, who described genetic engineering as holding certain promise and uncertain peril. But Watson is unequivocal in his stance. He believes that the certain promise of this technology far outweighs any uncertain peril, and he urges his colleagues to ignore the critics. Watson's speech that day was a revealing moment. It wasn't just about his quirky personality. It was about the role of science in society. He mocked concerns about the technology and the people who expressed them, revealing a deep-seated disdain for public debate. This was a man who had been at the forefront of decisions that would shape the future of genetic engineering, and he was unapologetic about his role in marginalizing the public. But Watson's speech was just the beginning. It set the stage for a much larger story about the power dynamics between science, industry, and society. As science historian Susan Wright points out, the decisions made at the Asilomar Conference in 1975, where scientists decided to self-regulate, effectively excluded the public from the conversation. This reductionist discourse became dogma, defining the boundaries of the public's role in genetic engineering. Fast forward to today, and the implications of these decisions are clear. The soft tyranny of the technological elite has led to a world where agricultural biotechnology has been commercialized without regard for important citizen and consumer rights. The right to choose what we eat and to know what is in our food is a fundamental human freedom, yet it has been undermined by the decisions made by men like Watson. Now, let's talk about the Doomsday Vault. No, it's not the plot of a sci-fi movie. It's a real place. A massive underground seed bank built to withstand nuclear war, global warming, and other catastrophes. Its purpose? To store millions of seeds and preserve the future of the world's food supply. But here's the question. Are seeds really in peril? The answer is a resounding yes. Seeds, the very foundation of our food system, are under threat from agricultural technologies, patents, corporate ownership, and environmental degradation. The plight of seeds is one of the most important environmental stories of our time, yet it has not received the attention it deserves. Seeds are as critical to our survival as air, water, and soil. They sustain the beauty and vitality of the earth and are essential to the regenerative capacity of the planet. Yet, we take them for granted. As the world faces catastrophic losses of biodiversity, fresh water, and fertile soil, the importance of seeds becomes even more apparent. But here's the kicker. The future of seeds is being decided by a handful of corporations. Genetic engineering, a technology controlled by private corporations, is being used to dominate agricultural production from seed to stomach. And it's not just about control, it's about profit. These companies are using their power to shape policies and regulations to their advantage, often at the expense of farmers, consumers, and the environment. Take, for example, the case of Monsanto, now Bayer CropScience. The company has been accused of using aggressive tactics to enforce its seed patents, suing farmers for patent infringement even when the contamination was accidental. The story of Chem Ralph, a Tennessee cotton farmer, is a chilling example. He was sued by Monsanto, endured false accusations, and was fined almost $3 million. His case is just one of many that highlight the power imbalance between corporations and farmers. And it's not just about the legal battles. The environmental impact of genetically engineered crops is a growing concern. Herbicide-resistant crops have led to an increase in herbicide use, contributing to the rise of superweeds and contaminating water and soil. Insecticidal crops, like Bt corn, are not the panacea they were promised to be. Studies have shown that they may harm beneficial insect populations and contribute to the decline of pollinators like bees. The story of golden rice is another example of the biotech industry's misplaced priorities. Promoted as a solution to vitamin A deficiency, golden rice has been criticized for its lack of efficacy and the ethical implications of using a staple food as a vehicle for genetic modification. Critics argue that the focus should be on more sustainable and culturally appropriate solutions to malnutrition. But there is hope. Around the world, a new generation of farmers, scientists, and activists is rising up to challenge the status quo. They are embracing organic farming, seed saving, and sustainable practices that prioritize the health of the land and the well-being of communities. The Land Institute in Kansas, for example, is working on developing perennial grains that mimic the natural ecosystems of the prairie. Their work offers a glimpse of a future where agriculture is in harmony with nature. In Hawaii, the story of taro, a sacred plant to native Hawaiians, is a powerful example of resistance against biocolonialism. The fight to protect taro from genetic modification is part of a larger struggle for cultural survival and the preservation of traditional knowledge. It's a reminder that the battle for seeds is also a battle for the stories, cultures, and identities of people around the world. As we face the challenges of climate change, food insecurity, and environmental degradation, the story of seeds is more important than ever. It's a story about the power of nature, the resilience of communities, and the potential for transformation. It's a story that reminds us that we are all connected and that the choices we make today will shape the future of life on Earth. So, what can we do? We can start by supporting local farmers, choosing organic and non-GMO products, and advocating for policies that prioritize sustainability and biodiversity. We can also support organizations that are working to protect seed diversity and traditional farming practices. And most importantly, we can listen to the stories of those who are on the front lines of this struggle. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope this episode has inspired you to think more deeply about the future of seeds and the role we all play in shaping it. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep planting the seeds of change.
Visit BrightLearn.ai for more fascinating videos like this one, and naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage and breaking news on critical stories that keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.